interesting point, Karen. The more I dig into mental health, the deeper I get and the more I find out about. It's very prevalent.
It is. Yeah, my preference is to call it emotional health, because I think a lot of the things that we've got trouble with are really unresolved emotions. Depression usually has two parts. There's either unresolved emotions and or limiting beliefs, particularly about ourselves. How we think about ourselves can most definitely contribute to our depression.
We seem to attract negativity when we're feeling negative.
Oh, that's an interesting comment. We do. Well, I don't know if you've heard of the law of attraction, Rob, but it is a universal law, much like the law of gravity, because everything's energy. Einstein once said that. He said, everything's energy, that's just physics, it's just the way it is. That's a direct quote. And so it's a scientific fact that your thoughts are energy, your emotions are energy, your beliefs are energy, your expectations are energy. Another word for energy is vibration. Everything vibrates at a certain rate. And the law of attraction states that we attract to us that which matches our vibration. So of course, if your vibration is very low because your thoughts, beliefs and emotions are very low, i.e. during depression, you're going to attract into your life more that matches that. So you just keep going down, down, down.
But I find that if something goes wrong, invariably I just write the week off, because I know that it's, I'm saying it, aren't I? That I know that everything's going to come tumbling in.
Interesting comment, and a lot of people say things like that. What you're doing is you're expecting the worst. Yes, you've had a bad day, you're expecting tomorrow to be bad, and the next day, in fact, you're expecting the whole week to be bad. And of course, when it is, we tend to give up, don't we? Stay in bed or just not try anything. One of the things that depressed people can't do is think positively. A lot of counsellors do that. They go, oh, you're depressed, I'll teach you how to think positively. And that's fantastic if someone's in the right place to learn that, because we all need to learn how to think positively, and it is a learned skill. But the thing is, you can't teach that to a depressed person. They honestly will not be able to do it. So if I said to you, Rob, the problem is that you're expecting the rest of the week to be bad, start expecting it to be good, and you're in a really depressed state, you won't be able to do it. So what we need to do is get people out of that state to a neutral ground and then teach them how to expect the best.
So how do you lift somebody? I mean, when you've had your 17th bill come in,
Yes.
and you're thinking, seriously, the income is that much and the outgoings are that much. How do you get people onto a platform above that?
Well, this isn't where I thought the conversation would go today, but let's talk about...
You never know with me, Karen, I promise you.
Let's talk about the law of attraction again, because, as I said, we attract into our lives that which matches our vibration or what we put out. So what I teach my clients is, if you're focusing on what's wrong and what you don't want, which of course is what worry is, you're going to attract more of what you don't want. For example, if you're worrying about money, you'll think, well, I'm thinking about money, I should be attracting money, but no, because you're focusing on the not having of it, and you're going to attract more not having. You'll attract more situations to take your money, like, machinery breaking down or, all sorts of problems. So the answer is to start changing and focusing on what you do want. And what I tell people who've got money problems is, look, if you've got 10 bills to pay and you've only got the money to pay 5, instead of going, oh goodness me, how am I going to pay all these bills? No, focus on the 5 that you can pay and send out happy, grateful thoughts for the fact that you can pay these 5 bills. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get these yes but thoughts that come in behind. Yes but, what about those ones you can't pay? Yes but, they're going to be after you. We just flip those away. We're not pretending they don't exist. I'm not saying forget about your bills. No, I'm saying take your focus away from what you can't pay towards what you can, and send out a happy, grateful thought. I can pay these 5 bills. I do have the money to pay these 5 bills. So what you're doing is you're focusing on what you do have, and you'll attract more.
And perhaps not being silly, but you can ring the other 5 and say, hey, listen, I'm really tired at the moment, I'll get back to you.
And 99% of people are fine with that when you just say, aren't they?
No, exactly. And then you feel a lot better.
Yes.
Because exactly. I've found it that with motoring, for example, one of the first lessons I was taught is that if you get into a slide and you're out of control, don't look at the pole, because that's what you'll hit. Look at the soft fence, and that's where you'll end up. And it works.
Yes, that's exactly the same thing. If you do that in life, if you look at where you want to be rather than where you are, and all the realists out there will be going, well, how can you do that? You have to look at where you are. You have to be real about it. But the thing is, you'll never change unless you change your thoughts, beliefs, emotions and expectations. So start focusing on where you want to be rather than where you are.
But that's literally why so many people hit a pole, because they're out of control. They look at the pole and they go, I'm going to hit that, and poof.
Yes. Yes,
It's
exactly
probably the
right.
last thing they see in a lot of cases. But
Yes.
yeah, okay, I mean, let's go back to what we were supposed. I do that, don't I? I go off on tangents,
That's all
especially
right.
with you, but that's all right. We need to be happy. So what stops us being happy?
Oh, that's a big question. So many things. As I mentioned, I think there's two tricks to being happy. Trick one is, part one I mean, is removing the reasons why you're unhappy. And that will be unresolved emotions and limiting beliefs, particularly about yourself, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, things like that. Not smart, not handsome enough, not pretty enough. So part one is removing the reasons why you're unhappy. That brings you to a neutral place. Part two is learning how to be happy. Because as we've mentioned before, happiness is a learned skill. Only 10% of your happiness has anything to do with what's happening in your life or what's not happening. It's all to do with that. If you can change your mind, you can change your life.
It's a big call.
It is a big call. You know, I've mentioned before, if your parents didn't know how to be happy, how could they possibly teach you? And if you don't know, how can you teach your children? They should be teaching how to be happy in school, honestly. I'm not joking, they should be. And that,
Yeah, and happiness is not just singing and laughing at a smutty joke.
no, it's mainly learning how to control your mind. That's a big, big thing. I actually teach people how to control their minds. Most people have no idea. Most people's brains are like an undisciplined child that just runs rampant. And we let our mind control us. You know, we lie in bed awake at night and the thoughts are just swirling around, and that's what worry is too.
Yeah, well, how do you get rid of that? Because I don't think there's a person that I know who doesn't lie in bed at night, probably around 2 or 3 in the morning,
Yes.
wide awake
Well, there's two.
and role playing.
Yes. There's two things I can teach people, that I teach my clients how to cope with that, and there's possibly one of them's too long to probably discuss in this show, but one of them is simply meditation. Now, I don't know if you've ever meditated at all, Rob, but meditation is briefly this is having a clear and peaceful mind, i.e. no thought. And if you've ever tried to meditate, you'll know that that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
That the thoughts just keep coming. Now, so meditation isn't about stopping those thoughts, because we can't. It's about dropping them. Like, I imagine that my mind is like a colander. You know, if you put water in a colander,
Yep.
immediately it falls through the holes. If I was meditating, then a thought pops in. I notice it and I go, nope, out through the holes, dropping you. And another thought will come in, or perhaps the same thought trying to come back. Nope, through the holes. I've taught meditation to a number of teachers, and I say to them, imagine your mind is like a whiteboard, beautiful and clean, and then blat, a thought comes in. So you just wipe it off. Blat, another thought, so you wipe it off. In actual fact, meditation is not this wonderful sitting there blissfully. No, it's a constant state of wiping, or in my case, dropping, whatever visualization you use. So you can actually do that at night in bed. As the thoughts keep coming, you are wiping or dropping or letting them go.